Hey everybody, my name is Georgiana Haynes and I'm here with another episode of Avon Calling with my wonderful co-host Miss Jessica and our guest for the day, Miss Alice. So Miss Jessica, before we get into the video, I just want to give you a chance to tell us where we can find your videos because we have another part of this interview with Miss Alice.
It's on youtube.com/makeupmavenjessica.
Awesome, Jess. Thank you for sharing. And Miss Alice, do you want to say a quick hi to everyone?
Hey, everybody.
Thank you for joining us for another episode of Avon Calling. Okay, guys, so today we're going to be talking with Miss Alice. We're going to be asking her some questions about her leadership journey. So the first question that I have for you, Miss Alice, is you kind of shared with us that you got started not as a person who was like, I'm getting into this business, running as Avon business, but you've managed to turn it into a super successful endeavor. So I would like to know, what are the things that you struggled with in the beginning and how did you overcome them?
Well, when I first started, I thought I didn't have the skills I thought I had the skills to sell Avon, but I had no selling experience. So I'm not sure why I thought that. But I thought I did not have the skills to grow a team and to talk to people about selling Avon themselves. And I had to overcome that. And I was really nervous in talking to people.
Me too.
Like, what if I make a mistake? What if I say the wrong thing? What if I stumble on the words? And it's funny because as an educator, I'm in front of people all the time, and I did trainings for staff. But somehow, when I was in a field that I wasn't as comfortable with, to start with, I struggled with that. And what I learned was, first of all, you have to get out of your comfort zone. And you have to go out and do something that you're not sure you know how to do or you're nervous about. And of course, the old saying of practice makes perfect is absolutely true. The more often you do it, the more comfortable you're going to become. But the most valuable lesson I learned from that was that so I stumble on a word. We do that in conversations all the time.
Mm-hmm.
You just stumble through it and then you start again. You're talking to real people.
Right.
And you are a real person. So it doesn't have to be perfect.
Right.
Your passion for Avon can speak for yourself. And the other thing I want to say is I thought I had to know all the answers to Avon before I could start a team, before I could start coaching a team. Well, the truth is, coaching is different than signing people up and just working with them to get started. Coaching does take a real set of skills. But all of those come in steps.
Mm-hmm.
And when I first started Avon, I just told myself, I'm not signing anybody up till I know about this business. And that seems logical, but it's not practical. You need to start a team as soon as you can because that's where the real earnings are with Avon. Mm-hmm. And you don't have to have all the answers. You just have to know where to go find them and be willing and self-motivated to get out there and find those answers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that is so very true. So when you first started, and you weren't working on coaching your team members, but you were helping them get started, right. How did you find your first team members? What did you do? What did you say to get people to go on this fun Avon journey with you?
Well, the first person that we signed up to my team was someone that came through the district manager at the time. And she said, I have this person. I was so nervous when I met with her, and she was nervous, and probably because I was. But we both lived through it, and she sold for, I don't know, off and on for maybe a year, and then she quit. But you just got to get out there and do it. You got to find people. You have to get out of your comfort zone and reach out to people and give them the opportunity.
Mm-hmm. So moving forward, now that you continue to build your team, what are the words that you say? What's some of the verbiage that you use when you're talking to people about the opportunity?
Well, it depends on the venue I'm at. You know, if I'm at a venue with a table set up and I have signs there that say sell Avon and stuff, and they're approaching me, it's different. They're already coming to me telling me they're interested, and then I just talk about the benefits. Why should they sell Avon? Okay, what hours do they have in their week? What are their dreams? What would they like to do with the earnings that they make with Avon? And I'm particularly impressed when someone says, I want to reinvest in my business before I reach my big dream of earning the cruise or, you know, paying off my bill. It is important to reinvest in your Avon business. I think the best thing that an Avon person can do or an Avon rep can do is buy books. I still struggle with, I have reps that say, oh, I'll buy 10 books.
Not enough.
You think you're going to grow your business with 10 books? Now, I say that tongue in cheek. Make as much use of those books as you can. Run some kind of a special that says, if you bring me another Avon customer that spends so much money, you'll get this percentage off of your order. I mean, encourage your customers to get out there and share those books. But the reality is most of us need more than 10 books to really grow our business. And always, always, always have on your book ways for them to sign up to sell Avon. And this is an interesting true story. I always have my label on the back of the book. And then if it's an old book, I also put the sample brochure on the front. Something that I do now, and Charlotte Eugenio shared this with me, and that is I now put on the front of my books a label that says sell Avon, earn money. And I have that on the front of the book. And Charlotte shares a story, and I hope she won't mind my sharing this, but she shares a story of at one point in her life, she needed a job. And she saw a stack of books and saw that one of them was Avon, you know, magazines in a doctor's office or something, and told herself, I'm not even going to pick that up because I cannot afford to even dream about buying any Avon. And as she stood up to go through the books, she noticed a label on the front of the book that said, earn money now. She's like, earn money? Earn money selling Avon? Hey, who knew? And that's what started her selling. So listen to other people that have examples of what worked for them. And I'm starting to put those labels on the front of my books now. So part of recruiting is getting out of your comfort zone. Part of it is listening to other reps. What has worked for them? And part of that is being creative with your own ideas and giving it a try. Sometimes it won't work.
Right.
Now you know it doesn't work. But give it a try, because you never know when something is going to work.
Right.
Whether it's hanging a notice in the local bus shelters. You know, they have those little shelters that people wait in to get out of the wind and the rain while they're waiting for the bus. Yeah. Avon doesn't want you hanging them there, but, you know, I put them there.
Right. Yeah.
Avon, I mean, you know, our local bus company doesn't want you putting them there, but usually they don't last real long anyway. So put them up, and if you're called on it, oh, I'm so sorry, I had no idea. You know, play naive, play ignorant, and then just ignore it. You know, that's how you get your name out there.
I love that everything that you said was an example of you're trying different things, because that's what it's about. What works for you may not work for me, but I won't know until I try it. And by try it, not just, you know, I did this once one day 3 months ago and I never ever did it again, but that didn't work for me. I'm just never going to do that. It's, you know, there has to be a level of consistency. And I know you kind of touched on that, explaining how you're consistent with your business. So when you're trying these things that help you get new first teammates, what's the span of time that you normally experiment with them for?
not sure I know what you're asking me.
Well, how long do you normally try the things that you're testing out? So do you post brochures one day and then stop? Or do you put up flyers one day and then stop? What's your trial period look like?
That's a great question. You know, I'll do something for a while and then it stops. And then in a conversation like this, I remember that I did it. And it's like, oh, I need to go do that again. So we find these things that sometimes work, and then we get so bogged down with life and other stuff, we forget some of the very simple things that worked for us, and we have to get out there and try them again.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't say ever stop doing anything. Keep doing it and add to it, and just kind of make it a circular thing where you keep going back to it.
Right.
Because we're reaching different people in every activity we do.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, someone that says no today may say yes 6 months from now. And so one activity we do today may not bring us anyone, but it might bring us someone down the road. So keep your options open, and that's why you need to be consistent in working your Avon business. Whatever you're doing, get out there and do it regularly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's super true. So super true. That's funny. So as we talk about getting out into the community and working our business, I wanted to ask you, Alice, about how Avon has helped you and helped your community, and what have you done to improve your community and to just continue to share Avon in your world.
Yeah, I love that. I am a personal believer that we have a responsibility to help others in our community. And so, you know, when I was a teacher, there was lots of ways to help my community. Selling Avon, oh my gosh, it's tremendous the kinds of things we can do. But let me just give you a couple of examples of how I embrace this. So I love volunteering. I think that's very important for us to do in our communities. And so I needed to find a way that I could volunteer with Avon. So a couple of things that I do. All right, I have an 89-year-old customer. She's a spry little thing. I just love her to pieces. But she doesn't like to stand and cook anymore. So at least once a month, I drop by and to see her and visit for a few minutes. Sometimes it's to take an order. Sometimes it's not. But when I cook at home, I always take extra and put it in a container and stick it in the freezer. And when I go see her, I take 5 or 6 meals for her, put them in frozen, and we put them in our fridge, and she can eat them over the next week. Now, that's just something that I can do that helps her. Okay. I like to sell at retirement centers. Okay. Whether assisted living or independent living. Independent living probably is the most productive for Avon. I go in once a month, and that could be another video too on how do you get into an assisted living center? What kinds of things do you say? Who do you talk to? What does your table look like? That kind of thing. And I'd be happy to share that because it's been very successful, and I think more reps could do this. But I will tell you that when I do it, I have 2 different places that I go to once a month. I'm there from 11. My table is set up. I sell from 11 to 2. It's during their lunch hour. They all have to walk by me on their way to lunch, and they have to walk by me on the way back, okay? So I sell on the way in and on their way back from lunch. All right, so what do I do there? If someone orders from me or they buy something from me that's there because they have a daughter or a granddaughter or a friend that they want to give a birthday gift to, a Valentine's gift to, whatever, you know, Mother's Day gift, whatever it is, I stop by the Dollar Tree, I buy not Avon bags, I buy gift bags with some tissue. Okay, you can buy smaller bags, 3 for $1. And $1 has a whole thing of tissue. And then I wrap it for them. Okay? I mean, not even wrapping, I just stick it in the bag with some tissue. It looks very pretty. But these are people that don't necessarily have the means for getting out. They have the money, but they don't have the means to get out. And so they can come to my table, buy their gift and have it wrapped on their way back. And they love it. And it cost me virtually nothing.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's those kinds of things that we can do for people. I have customers. This is so near and dear to my heart. I'll be sitting on the couch in the evening next to my husband, and we're relaxing, and I'll get a phone call and I'll answer it, and I'll be chatting, and I'll say, well, thank you for calling, and I love you too.
Oh.
And I'll hang up, and he says, another Avon customer. And I always say, yeah, that was so-and-so. And, you know, I mean, sometimes they call me to place orders, but sometimes they call me to tell me how their day was and to tell me how important I am to them and tell me they love me. And we never know how much we impact other people's lives.
Yep.
Avon's giving me the opportunity to do that and to make friendships with my customers, with people that I never would have had the opportunity to come across their path before. And I love that about Avon. And every once in a while I get really frustrated, and it's not even so much with Avon, it's with life and being busy. And I say to my husband, you know, if I just quit Avon, I wouldn't have this whole other piece that takes up so much time. And the first thing he always says to me is, Alice, what about your customers?
Yeah.
They would miss me. And of course, I would miss
them.
I would miss them too. There's no doubt about it. But he brings me back to reality. So we can volunteer with Avon. We can have our customers feel good by helping us. If I know, you know, we have new reps do this 50 contact person list. Who are the first 50 people they're going to try and sell Avon to or leave books with or something? Well, you know, our customers can do some of that. I don't ask my customers to come up with a list of 50. But in my bags where I'm delivering orders, I often put in an extra book and say, please help me by leaving this book somewhere where someone will have access to it, or by giving it to your best friend or to your mom. Help me find a new Avon customer. And, you know, good people want to help each other. And we feel good when we do. And why not let your customers feel good when they're helping you?
Those are all such amazingly good points. And I was actually talking with a couple of people today about the idea of being a servant leader. And I think it's Einstein, but don't quote me on this, but there's someone famous out there who says, maybe Zig Ziglar, if you want to get ahead, help other people. And, you know, by helping other people, you'll move forward. And I think we lose sight of that sometimes. We get so, and you know, it's society, we get so focused on what's in it for me. What can I get out of this? You know, where's this going to take me and mine? And we forget that this is a service business. We're helping other people. And that's one of the reasons I love Avon, because we're about empowering others and helping to coach other representatives to be successful, helping our customers to find great products at a great price. But it's at the core of it, it's helping people, building relations and making connections. And I think that you're so successful because you've seized on that. You know what the real reason is that you're doing all of this. And I think that's why your customers and your team and now me all love you.
I do want to add a little bit to that. One, Boon Me is a coach with Avon. And one time she said to me, Alice, Avon is your oxygen.
All of us.
That was so profound, but I loved it. And the truth is, Avon is my oxygen. It's what keeps me going. All right. Now, I want to say something about Avon reps. So I think it's very important that we support each other and help each other. So I kind of see us Avon reps as all being bees in the, we're all queen bees in the hive. So some of us buzz around a little and cause some trouble. But most of us are those worker bees. Yeah. We are hardworking. We have good attitudes. We share what works. We're celebrating successes. And, you know, helping another rep does not jeopardize your Avon business.
Right.
There is no conflict of interest in helping another Avon rep. we are there to help each other. And I want to share just a quick story about, and I've done this once before I've shared this story before, but I have a lot of teaching stories that I like to hear, but they relate really well to things that the point I'm trying to get across. So remember, I taught 7th grade, 12 and 13-year-olds. And to bring the shyer kids or kids that didn't know how to start a conversation with me back to my desk, we could converse a little. I could get to know them. They can get to know me. I'd have a bunch of toys sitting on the front of my desk, little things that you wind up and jump and flip. And okay, the kids that didn't know how to start a conversation would come back and play with those, and then I would be able to approach them. So I always had kids back there chatting and stuff. Well, this one girl comes back, and I should preface this by saying this was before I was married. I got married late. I was 47 when I married for my first time. Okay. Met him when I was 45. Never thought I'd be getting married, fell in love. It was like, oh my God, where did he show up? Okay. So kids naturally call their teachers Mrs. Just part of the package. And even though I would introduce myself as Miss, kids referred to me most of the time as Mrs. And you don't bother to correct it. You'd be correcting it 200 times a day. So you just let it go. So this girl's back at my desk and she says, oh, is that your husband? I had a picture of my boyfriend on my desk. And I looked at the picture and I said, no, that's my boyfriend. And she got this funny look on her face and she put her hands on her hips and she said, does your husband know? The reason I tell this story is we need to stop rumors before they start. Can you imagine if I would have ignored her or laughed her off, what the comments would have been to her friends and to her mom when she got home? So as Avon ladies, we need to respect each other. We need to stop rumors before they catch on and get going and make sure we're not part of that rumor process. Yeah. Because
we gotta work. There's too much to go on. There's so much happening.
My sharing here today with the two of you and with anyone else that watches, what I hope is that you've learned something from what I've shared and you can embrace that and take it and make your business better. It's not about, I don't want to share the most important thing because my business might be jeopardized because you're going to do better than me. Even if you're only across the street from me, be respectful. If you take your books into somewhere to leave and someone else's Avon books are there, don't leave your books there. Show some integrity. Go to the next door because probably books aren't there. You don't leave your books on top of other Avon rep books. You don't discard their books in the trash and put your books there. You find another place to leave your Avon books. Yeah. Don't compromise your integrity or Avon by not doing nice things. Be approachable, be friendly, love Avon and love your fellow Avon rep. Support each other. And I have to say, I love the Avon reps that I have met and worked with and have become friends with through social media. And Georgiana, I'm delighted to get to meet you. And Jessica, Jessica and I met, and I don't even remember at all, maybe we met before too, but it was a conference in Orlando when I was sitting and having lunch. The conference had ended and I didn't leave till the next morning. So I had eaten dinner and Jessica was another table in the restaurant and was eating with another friend. And then she came over and introduced herself and said, I don't know if you remember me. And I didn't remember her. But from that point on, I did. And so we became friends. We developed a bit of a friendship then. And then the following year, we were back in Orlando again. And we ended up being in line, or maybe it was Las Vegas. And we ended up being in line together while we were checking into the hotel. And it was like, oh my gosh, I know her, and we're friends. And I love it.
And I was going to say that I was sitting with my friend Mindy, and now you and Mindy are friends on Facebook and have a friendship, and I love that. I love that, because we all have this Avon thing in common, we can be friends and embrace each other, and I love that. Yeah,
I do too.
100% an Avon family. I call it the Avon sisterhood, but we do have a couple of awesome big brothers that look out for us.
Well,
So,
yes, we do too. Yes.
the Avon family. Yes. And I love that too as well, Miss Alice. Well, I think that's it for our video, but do you have anything else that you want to share with us, Miss Alice?
Well, I do want to say that I really encourage reps to at least have sales of 10,000 or more in a year so you can make President's Club, because going to the PC Gala and being recognized for growing your business and getting an Avon Oscar. I was going to have one here to show, but it's around the corner. Okay. Just showing it. I mean, it continues to build. Thank you. That's the Avon Oscar. It is an honor to be called up on stage and recognized and given an Avon Oscar for stuff that you really should be doing anyway for growing your business. But, you know, they're acknowledging you. I was in education for 32 years and, you know, never even got a free cup of coffee. You know, it was they didn't know when I left how many years I taught. They just knew I was leaving. It was, and I don't want to say it was impersonal. I loved my colleagues and stuff, but they didn't. When you work for the public, it's different than when you work for a private group. And I love the incentives that I can earn with Avon, and the, you know, being recognized for work that you're doing. Mm-hmm. I love the recognition, and it's not that I'm a shallow person. Well, maybe I am, but I love when someone says you've done a good job. Mm-hmm. We all need that acknowledgement sometimes, and Avon is doing a really good job about doing that. And in addition, Avon reps for the most part are doing a really good job with that with each other, and that's important to do. Yeah. So the last thing I want to say, and I know we're out of time, but I want to tell you what my favorite Avon product is. Of course, there's lots of them, but I am a kid at heart when it comes to taking a bath. And I love Avon Bubble Bath because the more bubbles I can have, the better. And I love bubbles that last the entire bath time, no matter how long I'm in there. I'm an avid reader, and I love to take my book in and read for a half hour while I'm soaking in that heat. And as a mom, there's no ring in the tub either. And the heady scents that you can get from some of the scents, that honeysuckle bubble bath, is absolutely out of this world. And so I love a lot of Avon products, but that bubble bath is number one on my list.
You sold me. Sold me.
Do it. It's awesome.
It is good stuff. I even use it as shower gel. You put a little bit on your loofah and you'll have foam and bubbles for days.
Yeah. Yeah. It's good stuff.
Well, thank you so much, Miss Alice. You shared some really awesome tips. So can you just tell everyone, if they want to hear more from you or if they want to get to know you a little bit more, where can they find you on social media? Well,
find me on my Facebook, pressonwithalice.com. So Facebook.com/pressonwithalice. And then my blog, pressonwithalice.com. The name of my team obviously is Press On. And my blog and my Facebook also have the quote there from a former president who talks about the importance of pressing on and not giving up. And I think that that's what we need to do with our Avon businesses.
Okay, too.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Miss Alice. So we'll post links to all of your sites down below in the description box, but we also have another part of our video where we were talking with Miss Alice on Jessica's channel. So be sure to check out Makeup Maven Jessica and subscribe to her channel so that you can see all of the rest of the Avon calling videos that we did. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to me as well. I think the link is in the bottom left, but be sure to subscribe as well because we have plenty more videos, plenty more awesome representatives like Miss Alice sharing their stories. But I thank you guys for watching. Thank you, Miss Alice and Jessica, for joining me on my channel, and I will see you all in a few weeks. Have a great day, guys.
Bye, everybody.